So the time has come for Meyer to go home, but he did get us quite a bit further than we would have been. So Dave got me worked up to try and pull this head off for you guys. The head studs came out really hard because the gasket's really bound up on them. Looking at the studs, and just like you guys can see kind of the compression stains. There's a good one right there. You can see like where the head gasket blew out on that one, and it had 4 of the 6 cylinders appear to be blown. So we got everything disconnected. We're gonna just go ahead and pull the head off with the fire punk tool, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. And here she is, guys. So blue number 1, pretty bad. It actually like kind of torched the ring pretty good. Obviously you can see the severe damage located here. Let me get this out and do some further diagnostics here. So here she is. Blew the fire ring clean out of the gasket. Definitely blew into number 1. Blue right there, blue here, so it fully sent. Look at that, dude. Dave, we got a new horseshoe. So I'll get this all cleaned up and see how bad the damage is. Definitely took a little bit of the coating off this piston, it looks like, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. So I'm gonna get it cleaned up and see if it's flat or anything like that. So here we are looking at the cylinder walls. A little bit of scuff, not terrible though. Honestly, it looks pretty good. Even this one, just a little bit of scuffing. Not too bad. Pretty decent. Got the fire or the deck plate all cleaned off, wiped off. But all in all, I think all this thing needs really is just a head gasket. Not bad. All right, so we're underneath. Huge thank you to Meyer. He got the transfer case disconnected. Now we're just gonna go ahead and pull the trans back after everything's been unhooked so we can get the motor out. Originally, we were gonna take it out as one piece, but we're gonna separate it so Dave can grab the converter. Here she is, we got her undone. Thanks to Dave for coming in clutch. Not the most orthodox way of removal, I'll be fair in saying that, but let's get her bolted up onto the engine stand and let's get Dave this converter he needs. All right, fresh converter for Dave. Let's see what this old blue truck's got in her now. We are in the engine room. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing torn down. I will show you guys all the parts, pieces, all of that. But instead of doing like a step-by-step teardown, we'll do flex plate, adapter plate, fluid damper, belt, alternator, fan, hub assembly, the pumps, the case CP3 pump, front cover, oil pan, pickup tube, and then start knocking the pistons out. I'll do the cam last, and the reason why I want to do that, assuming that the cam is good, we will mark all the tappets 1 through 12. That way when we go to put it back together using that cam, that lobe and that tappet are essentially broken in together. But yeah, I just figured it'd be easier, and then I'll show you guys kind of what the bearings look like, what the pistons look like, what the bores look like. Given the issue we had with the head gasket and everything, what I'm gonna do is just pull this whole thing apart, make sure all the bearings look good. If they don't, try to figure out what happened, make sure our bores are all right. Since we've had a couple of backfires, stuff like that, we're just gonna take it to Steve, have him hone it up real quick. We'll put some fresh rings on this old girl and basically just get it ready to go back and hopefully go really fast in Pro Street. All right, so pretty sure we bent the crank. We have the middle bearing absolutely toasted. It kind of turned into like a thrust bearing almost. Crank was obviously really hard to spin. Our main studs looked fine. I didn't see, there's like a little bit of fretting like right here, but not bad. So definitely this 14 mil girdle definitely worked really well. Oil cooler came up apart good. Oil pump looked fine. I did drop the alternator, so we'll have to get a new one of those. Coming over to our pistons. So this is the same piston that had the weird bearing. So rod looks straight. Definitely did not bend that rod. It looks perfectly straight. I think the crank traveling up and down crooked really did a number on this. And then I think probably my ego a little bit, driving it back, probably finished her off. But you know guys, the rod's fine. The pin looks great. These DLC coated pins from Diamond are freaking amazing. So pins are fine. Rings I'll probably was gonna replace regardless. The rods look okay. We do have some discoloration here where the head gasket completely blew out. So I think what I'll do is I'll get on the phone with Diamond, just order probably 2 pistons. I don't see any. This one's got a little bit of a scuff on it, not bad. This one looks fine. This one looks fine. All the bowls look okay. It's hard to like film with one hand, but everything looks fine on the rotating assembly, minus this one piston and then this discoloration, which I'll get with Evan Booms over there. That's who I deal with. That's my sales rep. Send him some pictures, see what he thinks. But all in all, these wagglers, I mean, guys, it lifted the head and ripped the gasket out. Absolutely incredible rods. I mean, look at that. No fretting whatsoever on these bad boys. Really, really nice to see. And I can't wait to give, Jeremy some more positive feedback on that. Anyway, moving on to the block. There's the other part of that bearing, and you guys can see here all the shavings that showed up from that. So kind of unfortunate, I think, because it didn't actually get into the block. The block will be fine, so we'll have probably Steve line hone this one more time, just make sure everything checks out. Our tappets, these no limit triple heat treated, these aren't DLC coated, but like it's something else, held up great. I'm really excited to show Eric what this looked like. I think there's people that are running this, but I don't know how much data he has or anything like that. When Steve sold these to me, he said that he was going to try them, and I always like trying new parts, so really happy with that. The cam, again, totally reusable. The reason why I think the crank might be bent is the teeth did not jive well with the cam gear teeth, so I think we definitely had some damage here. And I think it was just so much cylinder pressure. This is one of Steve Burton's lightweight crankshafts here. Steve's never had an issue with them, so I'm gonna say that it was probably just the cylinder pressure that loaded up. But if there's one thing I know about Steve, if he feels like he did something wrong or anything like that, he is awesome. He'll own up to it. He doesn't try to hide it, which I, as a customer, really appreciate. So I'm gonna bring all this to Steve, let him worry about it. Again, we were gonna have a billet crank in here, but the timing stuff up here really didn't work. Also, we broke the timing pin on this crank, and you guys can see probably after that it just started hammering real bad. This is the first time I've done this. I've seen Todd, when I worked at PDD, he did this to like every crankshaft, so I definitely think we might dial them from here on out. A little hindsight 2020. But take my word, because I don't feel like flipping it over, our flex plate to crankshaft, you guys can see all the Loctite here, no issues whatsoever. So I tell you guys that red Loctite method really works good. So all in all, pardon the sweat, I had to cut the AC off so I could talk to you guys, but all in all, like, I'm not mad. I kind of wish the piston didn't get hurt, but from what I remember, oh God, talking to with Diamond, the pistons aren't the problem, it's the pins. So we'll definitely get some fresh pistons ordered. And yeah, it's about 90 degrees in here right now since I shut the air off, so it's moist to say the least. But anyway, guys, all in all, I mean, we didn't put any holes in the block. All the cylinder bores look fine. Like, Steve will just have to hone them up real quick. We'll put some fresh rings, couple new pistons. We'll have to find a new 6.7 crank. If you got one that you want to sell, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Give me a way to contact you. I'd actually love to buy some 6.7 blocks and cranks if you have them. So in closing, guys, like I said, I'll show you guys anything you want. I don't care. To date, this is the highest horsepower I've ever achieved on an engine, period. And it did the one pole, and then we really cranked it up and it didn't take it. So as far as I'm concerned, this motor has gone faster, made more power than anything I've ever done. I really think the only reason why it tore up is inexperience behind the keyboard. I got that opportunity to talk to a couple people, some other guys that have similar sized injectors, also have done very similar things to their head gaskets and stuff. So it makes me feel better knowing I think we just got a little carried away on the old timing there, which again, inexperience, it's a learning curve. To some people, this might be expensive. In my opinion, at the level we're at, this is kind of an affordable repair. I do think, I don't know if we'll be able to make Rocky Top, I don't know on the pistons. That's really the kicker there. But I do know that Steve over at New Performance can definitely hit the deadline. It'll just be the pistons and then obviously the customer workload trying to put all this back together. But if we don't make Rocky Top, the truck will definitely be at Shide. With our spare motor still gone, honestly, I don't know if I'd want to swap it in anyway. That's such a good street strip engine. I don't know if I'd want to turn it up to run Pro Street, because every pass on Pro Street, I feel like 2,000 horsepower is plus is where you got to be. So I don't think that motor would be really well suited for that, sustained such as that. So anyway, guys, I'm learning right along with you guys. Really not that bad. I am actually very happy with it. It did tear up, I'll own it, but I really think the computer, I got too much time in it and it didn't want to do it. So anyway, I'll get all this packaged up, given back to Steve, let Steve measure it. I will update you guys on what the outcome is from Steve when we go to put it together. Like I said, guys, I always try to be honest with you. Hopefully you like this video. Drop a comment down below what you think. First 2,300 horsepower motor build. I don't think it's that bad. Subscribe if you are not already, guys. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.